this colloquium, we have the pleasure to welcome Professor Martijn from the University of Groningen. And your presentation has given us occasion to engage into fundamental discussions about the nature of compromise and the connection between disagreement and compromise, the status of the balance of reasons. First of all, I would start from your contention that after all, it's not always possible to reach a compromise through weighing or balance of interests or values. Could you explain what you mean by this proposition?
Okay, thank you. Well, there's a general agreement amongst certain philosophers that if there is a conflict of values, or if people disagree about what should be done in society and they adhere to opposed principles, that you then can resolve that conflict by assigning rational relative weights or by making a rational trade-off. And that by making a rational trade-off, you can reach a compromise. And they think that such a rational trade-off can be made by searching for an Aristotelian mean or a right balance. And I try to argue that that is often not possible because these values that underlie the disagreement are often incommensurable and conflicting. And that means that when there is this disagreement, there's no a right answer to the conflict. Reason does not unambiguously guide the decision-making process. So if that's true, then a principled compromise based on a rational trade-off or the assignment of rational weights or finding a right balance is not possible.
And, in a very related way, you explain why values can simultaneously be unable to one-way one another and be unable to equilibrate one another. So it's possible that no existing value is better than the other ones, and at the same time it does not mean that they can be described as equally good or equivalent. I find this extremely convincing, and I would say that it is at the very heart of what some people in the field call hard compromises or sanguine compromises, difficult choices, hard choices, and so on. Because it happens that values are simply unable to offset one another, so that a trade-off perspective is not always available. But don't you think that our habit of seeing public choices, collective values, as connected with an ideal of consistency, with political ideals to do with publicness, the public character of justification, the ability to construct a public discourse, if possible a consistent one, has a tendency to lead us into believing that when values are not prevailing one against the other, they should be declared equivalent just for the purpose of consistency or completeness in social choice evaluation, collective assessment. Is there something like a practical tendency to believe that there is more equivalencies than there are in the world?
Yeah, I know that they try to then reach this equivalence amongst the values, but what I try to show via my argument is that there's over a wide range no equivalence to be found, and actually can make that convincing via these arguments. So when they then say when neither is better than the other, we just see them as equally good, I think they're making a mistake, because the values are incompletely comparable. You cannot compare them according to a common standard that enables us to make that judgment.
Okay, yes, which could have a connection with some classical philosophical argument against the kind of offsetting capabilities associated with values in an economic approach, things like that. Because the traditional cost-benefit analysis has a tendency to have us believe that good points are compensated by the bad points and so on.
Right, and I try to show that is not the case.
Okay.
That if you make a choice between values that are conflicting and incommensurable, then what you choose does not compensate what you lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, part of the discussion in the colloquium has revolved around a kind of summa divisio. Maybe we could see compromise as a right solution. Paradigm for principled compromise would be looking for a right solution. Or maybe we should look at compromises as second best approaches, suboptimal points. Do you think this notional division is convincing? Should it be relativized somehow?
I thought that discussion was very interesting. But again, I argue that a right compromise, in the sense that it is based on a rational trade-off or a right balance, that is not possible. But that does not mean that other kinds of principled compromises are not possible either. There could very well be. And in my presentation, I gave one example of John Rawls' difference principle. That is an ingenious way to reconcile incommensurable values in such a way that you resolve the tension without having to assign relative weights or to make a rational trade-off. Rawls himself would not call it a compromise, but as G.O. Cohen has shown, the difference principle that Rawls puts forward as a solution to that tension cannot be completely just, because the difference principle allows what Cohen calls undeserved inequalities, and these can be very large. And if they are very large, you could wonder whether that is compatible with our understanding of fairness.